So we're gonna make this chicken today. It's very, very simple. It's really delicious. It's juicy. What else can I say? Welcome back to How to Cook Great. So I've got a whole chicken there that I've just quartered. That's a 1 kg chicken. That's 2.2 pound. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna season it up. So I've got here 2 teaspoons of salt and pepper, which we're gonna get on there. Two teaspoons of celery salt, 1 teaspoon each sweet paprika, chili powder and cumin, quarter cup oil. I'm using olive oil, you can use something else, that's just to kind of bring it together. You can see that I've got a sexy black glove on. We're going to go in and we're going to just mix that around and season it up. Back in a moment. Beautiful. Over to the cooker. Okay, so I've got that pan on below medium heat. We don't want anything too high here. We're going to pick up our chicken and we're going to drop that in. I've just put this pan on actually, so the heat will come through in a moment. And we're going to cook this chicken for about 4 or 5 minutes aside, but I'm going to be turning it every minute or so, nice and low. Looking fantastic. What I've got here, I don't know if you can see that just out of shot, I'm getting some chicken stock heated up, which we're going to be adding to this once we finish cooking. Okay, so this chicken is looking beautiful, I think you'll agree. I've got chicken stock here. Let me grab this and pour that in. Might be quite loud. And you can see that there's enough there to sort of cover most of it. We're going to go to a simmer now, a nice low simmer. Going to get a lid on that and we're going to go for 8 more minutes. Okay, off goes the heat for a second. Off comes the lid. Now I flipped that a couple of times while it was in there. What we need to do now is we need to remove the chicken, which is looking fab. It's cooked beautifully. It's going to be really nice and tender. And then we're going to get back in here and make a sauce from this. So I've just put the heat on again, really nice and low. I've got a whisk ready. And here I've got under half a cup of water with a cornstarch, like a tablespoon of cornstarch slurry. Just mix that together. We're going to add it slowly. Now you can eyeball this and get it as thick as you like. So just with the heat on, run that through there and the cornstarch will start to thicken. Okay, let's go for it there. So about half a cup with 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, low heat. Let me mix this for a little bit. It will thicken up. Let's take a look at it then. Okay, and off goes the heat, and that's thickened nicely for me. If you want it thicker, just a bit more of the cornstarch. Cornstarch and corn flour, by the way, are the same thing. We just call them different things in different parts of the world. Fabulous sauce there that's going to grab the chicken nice and smooth, tasty of course from the chicken being cooked in it and all the flavors. That is delicious. And I've just added a little bit of chopped parsley around the edge so I look like I know what I'm doing. How you doing? So what we're looking at here is some chicken. I'm using a whole chicken, bone in, skin on. We're going to cook this in a beautiful, simple, fresh tomato sauce. As you can see, serving that with some spag. Welcome back to How to Cook Great. So I have there a 1 kg or a 2.2 pound chicken. Skin is on, bone is in. I've cut it up into fairly large pieces, about sort of 6 pieces I think there. So in my pan or skillet, I've got about 3 tablespoons of oil using the sunflower oil. We're simply just going to take our chicken. We're on a medium heat, by the way. Don't have it up too high. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add salt and pepper. Just at this stage, we're going to just go salt and pepper. And I'm going to go for about 8-9 minutes. I'll be flipping it fairly often. Okay, so you can see we've just got some nice colour on the chicken. It won't be cooked all the way through yet, but don't worry about that. It's going to go back in the pan in a few minutes. So we're going to fetch that out. Then what we're going to do, I'm going to add 2 cups of sliced onion, a tablespoon of garlic, and again, stay on this medium type heat. We're going to go for 4 minutes, and we're just going to build this up and get the chicken back in. Beautiful. Next up, we're going to add 3 cups of fresh tomatoes. Now, try and use a nice juicy ripe tomato if you can. To that, I'm going to add some oregano or oregano, about 2 teaspoons. Change that herb if you want. About 6 minutes or so now. We really want to cook these tomatoes down, like really cook them down. So give it a stir every now and then. So you can see these tomatoes are cooking really beautifully. We're going to add a little bit more salt and pepper. Next up, I'm going to add some tomato paste, which you can see right here. This is 135 grams. Well, it's about a cup. But yeah, 135 grams. It's one of those small little kind of Tetra Pak things. Okay, 4 more minutes. Then what we're going to do is we're going to blend this or liquidize it, whatever you want to call it, get it nice and smooth. Okay, so I've blended that up there, as you can see. We're going to just get that back into the pan. The heat's off just at the moment. We're then going to add 250 ml of chicken stock. Little mix. We're going to get the chicken back in there. Then on a low heat, like a nice simmer, with a lid on, we're going to let that go for about 8 to 10 minutes. Really beautiful this is. A few juices from the chicken, don't want to waste that, in it goes. So nice simmer, lid on, about 10 minutes. Okay, taking the lid off goes the heat. I did flip that over a couple of times, the chicken, flipped it over. Check it for salt and pepper. For me, that's very simple and very beautiful. So I'm just serving that with a little bit of parsley on the top. Winner chicken dinner, here we go. We've got some chicken thighs cooked with garlic and lemon and some herbs, mushrooms sauteed, and some beautiful paprika potatoes. Welcome back to How to Cook With. Okay, so I've got some chicken thigh there. The bone's been taken out, the skin is off. I've got 6 pieces, so they're kind of like that. What we're going to do is we're going to add 1/4 cup lemon juice, 1/4 cup olive oil, a tablespoon of chopped garlic, and then a teaspoon each. I've got salt, pepper, and I'm using dried thyme, but you could switch that to something else. You can see I've got my glove on. I'm just going to go in and give that a mix. Now what I'm going to do is going to shrink wrap that, plastic wrap it, or cling film it, whatever you call that stuff. Pop that in the fridge for at least 30 minutes. You could leave it overnight. So I've got 3 kind of regular sized, decent sized potatoes there. I've kept the skin on, give them a little scrub, and cut them fairly thick. Something thin going on here. They're fairly thick sort of guys. What we're going to do is I'm going to pop them into some cold water with salt, bring them to the boil. Once they reach boiling point, I'm going to let it go just for a minute. Just want to give them 1 minute at boiling point. So from cold water with salt, bring it to the boil about a minute. Okay, so I just drained them off. So they're still very, very firm. Like I say, once it reached boiling point, I just went for 1 minute. Here I've got some oil. I'm using a sunflower oil, 1/4 cup of that. And then here I've got a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of pepper, and 2 teaspoons of paprika. I'm using a sweet paprika. You usually get paprika in 3 types. You get sweet that I'm using, smoked, which is delicious, and hot. If you're using hot, it's pretty much just like chili powder. You can see I've got a glove on. I'm going to get in there and give these a mix. And then we're off to the oven. So I'm going with metal, but you could use glass or ceramic as long as it can go in the oven. I actually think metal is quite a little bit better, I think, for roasting. So preheated oven, get your oven really hot. Turn it on maximum heat, full blast. Once it's hot, get them in. They're going to be about maybe 10 minutes or so. So I've got a skillet there, frying pan, whatever you call that. We're simply going to grab our chicken and place it all in. We're on an above medium heat. You want it fairly high. See if you can flatten these out like that. And very, very simply, just flip and flip for about, I think maybe 6 minutes or so. They're going to cook and be delicious. So these have got a lovely colour on them. You can see that the lemon juice has burnt away. I'm just going to turn the heat off for a moment. The lemon juice has burnt away and just left us with the oil and garlic. We're going to take these out for the moment, but we are coming back in this pan. Juicy. So about 1/2 cup of onion cut nice and small. In that goes. And we're retaining all of these lovely flavours here. I'm going to put the heat on and we're going to go medium now, 3 minutes. Fabulous. Now we've got some mushrooms here. I've cut them either in half if they're quite big, or whole if they're kind of bite size. You can see there's 250 grams there. That's kind of like one of those little blue punnets that they come in. And again, we're going to go for 3 more minutes. We might get a bit of moisture from the mushrooms as they cook. Keep it moving. Really beautiful. And those kind of burnt onions and garlic really add to the flavour, I find. I'm super happy with it. Now I've got a little bit of chicken stock here. I've got like a cup. In that goes. Get the heat up really high and let that go for a minute or 2 only. And that's done. And there we go, ready to eat. So we've got our lovely potatoes there, our mushrooms, that little bit of stock sauce there to kind of, you know, give it a bit of moisture, and our beautiful juicy chicken. Now, if you found that between the potatoes and the mushroom sauce, the chicken was cold, what you can do is put the chicken into that sauce just for a few minutes, you know, just to heat it up. But that's a beauty. Hope you enjoyed that. Keep safe, keep well. I'll see you soon. Lots of love. Thanks a lot for getting to the end of the video. If you'd like to give me a thumbs up, that does help us out quite a lot with the algorithm and such like. Subscribe if you like, you'll get notified about what we're doing. There's a thanks button if you want to donate. See you soon.